Hello, everybody, and welcome to a really cool comic book update here on the Media Files. Um, got several things to go through today, lots of comic book related stuff. And with that, let's take a look at what I got here. Yeah, there's going to be no little fade into a title card this time. I'll just throw that in the opening before you even see it. So, I was at my local, or I was at Ollie's, which is kind of like Kmart, never like Kmart, but it's basically it's kind of hard to explain. But if you know what Ollie's is, you know what it is. So I was there. This is probably about a year ago, and I've had these comics laying around for a while, and I've been meaning to do videos on them and never got around to it. But I got a whole bunch of really cool comics, and not only that though, these take forever to get through because they're big and there's a lot in there. Um, so first of all, when this series finally came on to Netflix, I was so excited, and yet stupid me has still, yet to watch it. And what can I say? I mean, it's an instant comic book classic with everybody, especially who has read the comics. I myself have not read them yet, but I'm looking forward to reading them. And I know it will take me a while to get all of them, but I do have one particular edition that, since it has a bunch of them, I might as well just go ahead and get the other 3 volumes, and that way I have it all. But I managed to find this one from author Neil Gaiman. I have the Sandman Overture. Yeah, basically it's like a prequel, I believe. Like I said, I've never really actually read the Sandman, and I know people will probably write on my comment and say, "Well, how have you not read Sandman?" I just haven't. I mean, I heard of it, but never actually read the comics because I wasn't aware of Sandman until I was literally in college. So, because I had a few friends in college who were big comic book geeks, and they were telling me about it. And I'm like, is it like Batman? They're like, oh no, it's nowhere near Batman. I'm like, oh, okay, what's it like? Like, well, are you familiar with Doctor Strange? I'm like, yeah. They said it's similar to that. I'm like, oh, okay. A little bit here and there, but So, up next, now this one here, I love this character. I loved, both movies, when they came out. I kind of enjoyed a certain aspect of the second one better, but I enjoyed the first movie's story a lot better. I don't know why. The second story was a little weak, in my opinion. But, however, though, I did manage to find a really cool comic by comic book writer Daniel Way. I'm, of course, talking about Ghost Rider by Daniel Way. The complete collection. Yeah, his entire run of Ghost Rider. And I remember when I sat down to read this, I'm like, this is such a really cool, his art style, the way he writes. I'm like, this is actually pretty cool. Because not only that, though, I mean, even Doctor Strange shows up. I'm like, that's pretty cool. What can I say? I mean, it's Ghost Rider. Can't go wrong with Ghost Rider. And so as I was still browsing around, came across, let's see here. We want a couple of other, actually, I meant to show this in my Star Wars video, but I forgot about it. But I'm like, well, it's a comic book. Figured it'd just go well with the comics. I managed to find Star Wars Poe Dameron. Yeah, this little mini comic takes place during or before, I think it's either before or after The Force Awakens. Lots of really cool artwork and what have you, but what can I say? Apparently, it's the Legend Lost series, and apparently I have volume number 3. So apparently I'm missing a couple volumes. I guess I'll need to go find them somewhere. But as I'm browsing around, came across a few of these comic books, and what can I say? I loved this series when I was a kid. I have all the DVDs. Funny thing is, I never really read a whole bunch of their comics at all, but I figured, hey, for next to nothing, I can catch up on a whole bunch of them in one run. I'm, of course, talking about X-Men, The Age of Apocalypse. Yeah. Now, this is collection number 2. Um, Ollie, it really depends on when you go into Ollie's because you never know what they're going to get. Sometimes they'll have stuff in there for, lots of other different stuff, and sometimes they won't. It really just depends on when you go in there because it's kind of hit and miss. So, but however, though, as I was digging through the back of it or whatever, I managed to come across X-Men Age of Apocalypse Volume 3. Yeah, this one's entitled Omega. The second one is entitled Reign. So I imagine there's probably something going on there. But not only that, though, that's pretty cool that you actually get to see Rogue there on the front cover. That's actually pretty cool. So up next, found a couple more Marvel-related ones. Now, of course, I remember hearing about this character when I was, younger. And I think I've had one or two comics when I was younger with, with the web slinger. Yep, it's a web slinger one. But I had no idea that they actually managed to do basically book versions of it where they, obviously like we've been looking at. I managed to find The Amazing Spider-Man, The Complete Clone Saga Book 2. I'm like, sweet. I remember the character of with the Spider-Man with the Ben Reilly version of Spider-Man. Oh, excuse me. And so I'm like, this is sweet because I love it when they have these collections like this. Then that way you can actually sit down and read everything all in one go. And they also had Spider-Man, The Complete Clone Saga Book 3. Yeah, apparently there is 5 books in total. And, I need to find the others and whatnot. But eventually I'll find them over time and whatnot because I know they're hard to track down. I just like to make sure that they're all nice and pristine and, not too torn up. Let's see here. So up next, came across this book based off of the television series. Yeah. I remember this show being on, but I never actually watched it because I know a friend of mine, he and I were big into it, and we actually went out and bought the first season on DVD. We both each bought ourselves a copy of it, and not only that, though, it lasted for 4 seasons originally, and then they had the Reborn miniseries that they made. And not only that, though, some of the actors have gone on to do quite a really awesome stuff. But what can I say? I was surprised that they had it. I'm, of course, talking about Heroes, Volume 1. Yeah, this show was awesome when it was on. Very different take on your usual superhero stories. And, not only that, though, it's written, the writing is so good in this. And, you get not only that, though, you get an introduction by Masi Oka, who plays Hero in this book, which is awesome. I want to pick up the rest of the series, that way I can read all of it at some point. But I need to go back and watch the show. I have not watched the show forever. So so now this one, I found this at where was it? I believe it was at a yard sale or a comic book store or store somewhere. I can't remember exactly where I found this, but I was kind of surprised that they actually made a comic book based off of it. But what can I say? I absolutely love the story. I've seen multiple versions of this character, and given the fact that he's extremely popular, still is. But what's kind of cool about it is that it's actually something that I never thought I would ever actually see. But this thing is so cool, though. But not only that, though, what can I say? It's from a classic book, classic author. I have Frankenstein, the graphic novel. Yeah. Now, this features the original text, which is, I believe it is actually the original 1818 text, because when Mary Shelley kind of did a little bit of a rewrite on it, she kind of changed a few things here and there, but basically explains everything, basically, as it was before, but, certain words needed to be changed and, yeah, for the times and yada, yada, yada. But tell you what, though, but the artwork is so amazingly done. I mean, it's so, so good. Very creepy, very, and you can just imagine trying to what was going on, inside Mary Shelley's head as she was, trying to write, this story of Frankenstein. But I mean, look at that, though. I mean, look at a close up of the art of Frankenstein there. That's awesome. I mean, that, though, it's all in full color, too. Um, so, next up, I actually found this at, where was it? At Half Price Books, of all things. And granted, the fact that I'm so excited that this character will be returning after 35 years of waiting. Yes, I'm also including the second movie. Um, I am surprised I did not buy this when I was literally 4 or 5 years old. Thank God I didn't, because I probably would have been torn to shreds. Um, I have the books of the other four, or the other three movies, but for some reason I never bought the first one. I managed to find it was marked down to $1.99 at Half Price Books. I found Batman, the official book of the movie. This thing was awesome. I mean, you got so many awesome promo pictures in here. Not only that, though, you get you know the whole shebang of how they, the artwork by, that Anton First had created as the production designer. And not only that, though, you get storyboards and lots of artwork, as well as other photos behind the scenes of the movie. And the what is it? There's actually even I believe, yeah, like, for example, there's actually photos in here, like, for example, of the Joker's girl there in the mask. That particular shot you would never really see at all in the movie, which kind of is weird. But God, I could look at this thing for hours on it and just read so much. But not only that, though, there was actually some. They actually show a few gadgets in here that was never in the movie. Because you remember when in Batman Forever, when he throws the Batarang and you see it split. They actually show a weapon of his that they've never used in the movie. The ninja wheel, or as they call it, like a throwing star, basically. That's a weapon that I never knew that they even used. I don't ever remember him using it in the movie at all. But but I'm not sure if I actually had mentioned it in my review. I think I did. But here's a great shot of try to get a close up of it, of Batman's armor there. I believe it's like right along in here in the where he has his suit there in the vault. Thanks to high definition, you can actually see that suit is damaged, and I never noticed that before, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, like I said, this thing is awesome. I'm so glad I finally have it. I may just put this thing in a wrap and just leave it. And then final thing, this is something that my wife got me at a yard sale, and she thought that I would like it because she knew I like comic book related stuff, obviously. None of that, though. It's a nice, awesome hardcover coffee table size book. She got me Justice League 100 Greatest Moments. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool book. It's hard, it's heavy, and you get all these great different moments that happen throughout the Justice League comic book series, specific comics that happened, because every page has like all these different uh, moments, and knowing that though, they actually mention have like some story moments in it from old and new. And what's actually kind of cool is that they actually have, it's hard to see, but I'll attempt to show you. Um, you might be able to see it there, but there is where they have all the numbers here. Has 100 greatest moments, and then underneath is red text, which basically specifically suggests either a villain or character or something like that. But like I say, this thing is actually pretty cool. It's a nice looking coffee table book, and there's also got stories about that. Oh, and then none of that though. Probably one of my favorite uh, photo issues that they have in here is basically the 100th greatest moment. Dark Side. That shot is awesome. But not only that, but so is the artwork behind it. But yeah, what can I say? Amazing, amazing book. Hard, sturdy thing. So yeah, that's basically it for this comic book related update. I'll try to do more updates as I am able to do them. For those of you who are new and who have just subscribed to my channel, thank you. I appreciate it. And not only that, though, I will subscribe to your channels and see what you guys have posted on yours as well. And not only that, though, please like and subscribe. I will try to put tags on my videos. That's one thing I keep forgetting to do, because I know sometimes it's maybe kind of hard to find some of my stuff, because I know lots of people talk about the same thing that I do. But if there's something you would like to have me talk about, specifically that's right there behind me, or anything of because I know some people have mentioned that in my I believe it was in my 20th Century Fox Collector's Editions video that I did recently. Somebody had mentioned and had commented below that they did not see these particular edition of the Alien movies. I am actually planning on doing a full collection overview of all the editions that I have of those particular movies, and I'll do a run through of of what's on each individual one, kind of what the differences are, if there are any differences, between the DVDs, the Blu-rays, what have you. Like I said, there are a ton of things coming. Just you have to bear with me. I know, because life gets in the way, and I'm just basically doing this whenever I have any kind of free time available to do. So yeah. So with that, I'll see you in the next update.